What's up, Baggies fans, football fans, and sports fans, and welcome to the latest transfer edition. Another signing has been added to the ranks, and this time it is Alfie Gilchrist. We'll break down the signing, what it means for the Albion, and what it could potentially mean for the system and formation Ryan Mason wants to play. But before we get into it, let's set the like target to 40 likes on this video. Leave a comment, let me know what your thoughts are about this signing, where you see him playing, where you see him fitting. And of course, subscribe. We are well on our way to 600 subscribers, and the big 1K before the end of the year would be absolutely lovely. I am live streaming tomorrow, doing a watch along, so make sure you subscribe and get in there and come and have a laugh and a joke with me. And let's get into it. And first off, let's talk about the basics. Gilchrist has signed on a 4-year deal for an initial fee believed to be about 1.2 million, rising potentially to 2 million. Now, when you look at his age for just a 21-year-old, and we've moved on Furlong for 3.5 to 4 million, I think this is a solid piece of business. He's obviously experienced the Championship last season with Sheffield United making over 30 appearances. He also played 11 games for Chelsea in the Premier League as well. So, he has got confidence about him. Chelsea have relied on him. Sheffield United have relied on him. He's going to be a bit of a quality signing for us. We secured a defender who's still developing, still improving, but has really already shown he can handle the demands of the professional game. And I think that's the key there. We've lowered the wage, you lowered the age, range of our squad. We've lowered the wage bill as well. And we've also potentially increased our potential incomings, because in 2, 3 years' time, he might be a really good right back and he might be worth 20 million. Who knows? This is what the owners are wanting to do. They're wanting to bring in youth and trade players. They've come out and said it. And listen, I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed with the Tom Fellow sale and the price, but we've got to be understanding that we're in that sort of trade-off issue. And I know the final fee is probably not the best for him, but if we can bring in some decent young players as well, who again might increase our sell-on value, we're going to turn into the likes of a Brentford, a Brighton club, and look how well they're doing in the Premier League over the last few years. And if that's what we're aiming for, it's going to be fantastic. As I say, he spent the entire year on loan at Sheffield United last season, making over 30 appearances across the campaign, a couple in the cup, but mainly focused in the league. That is a really solid number for someone who's still early in his career. Remember, Sheffield United weren't just making up the numbers last season. They had a strong year in the Championship, finishing third in the league, and we got all the way to the playoff final. Now, the points tally that Sheffield United got to not go up was absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, unfortunately for them, it ended in heartbreak and narrow defeat. But Gilhurst being part of that, squad, chasing promotion, high pressure environment, it's invaluable experience. And that kind of exposure week in, week out tells us a lot about his mentality. Now, a couple of the Sheffield United fans have been pretty mixed on us signing him. A lot of Blade supporters have said he looks far more comfortable in a back three. And this is where I think Mason's possibly the reasoning behind selling Tom Fellows. Is if he's playing a back three, is he going to play a back three with 2 number 10s and the striker? In which case, Fellows is really surplus to requirements in that sort of formation. He doesn't work. And if we can bring in players that suit that role a lot more, and obviously then you've got your likes of Meppen, Phillips, obviously Gilchrist, Campbell, Bielik. We brought in enough players to play a nice back three formation with wing backs as well. You know, who knows if we're going to be bringing in a right wing back and a left wing back, and then another number 10 and a striker. Who knows what's going to happen in this transfer window? But I do think that he's going to be played in a back three, and I think this is what Mason's been building for. And I think we've got to trust him. He knows what he's doing. As I said, the Sheffield United fans definitely said he played better in that back three sort of role rather than the back four at an out-and-out right back. He loves a good block and he loves a good challenge. He's a hard, proper, no-nonsense defender. And I think it's a really good signing for us. Obviously, the ability to fit into both roles, being versatile. Some games we might have to set up as a back four, but the ability to go, well, with this game, I'm going to do a back three. It keeps other teams thinking, well, are they going to come to us with a back four? Are they going to come to us with a back three? That ability to flick and change on the go is fantastic, and it really, gives Ryan Mason the choice to do what he wants to do. So he could switch systems mid-game if he wanted to. And that's crucial. Get him further forward if he plays further forward as a right wing back, or even as a winger. Who knows? We don't know until he starts playing for us and puts on that shirt. All we know is we've got to get behind him, we've got to help him, we've got to push him. And for me, it's a fantastic signing. For our perspective, though, what I really like about the signing is it complements, what we needed. We needed a young, hungry right back. The fans have been saying for years now, right back is where we need to improve, left back is where we need to improve. We brought one in, young lad from Chelsea. He knows the league inside out. He's reliable, and it's just absolutely fantastic that the owners are not just going, well, let's go and buy a 27, 28-year-old that's done it. Let's go and bring somebody in young that can develop, that, can be worth more money in the future or help us get promoted to the Premier League. And then who knows what's going to happen. As I say, 1.2 million for him. It doesn't break the bank. We sold Taylor and Furlong, and we brought in Mepham, Gilchrist, Phillips, Bielik, and also one other centre back. Oh, one other one. And we've, from the two sales alone, we've not even touched the bank on that one. How good is that? Obviously, Heggen sold. We've got the money from Heggen. Fellows has now sold. We've got probably the best part of 15, 16 million to spend with. Obviously, we can't be too careful because we've got PSR to stay in line with, and I think that's possibly why the sale of Fellows has gone through. But, it's fantastic. We are really looking like a team now that's not just looking at getting older players like, Swift when we brought him in, Wallace when we brought him in. We're looking to bring young players in who are hungry to wear the shirt and push on and improve themselves. And okay, yes, we might be gambling a little bit, he might not be the best straight away, but he knows what he wants, Mason does. And bringing in these young players is absolutely fantastic. He's gonna, grow into that role. He's gonna grow whether we play him as a right back or a right centre back. He's gonna grow experience. He's got two very experienced centre backs with him in Mepham and Phillips. Bielik as well, who can teach him other roles. These are the sort of players we want to bring in. And I think for us, it's absolutely a fantastic signing. You have to remember sometimes players suit certain clubs better. And I think Mason bringing in youth players is that sort of, he's going to teach him, he's going to help him, he's going to learn, almost, teach him this is the way that we want to play. And I think it's fantastic. I think Albion supporters should be pleased with the ambition here. It's not a loan, it's not a stopgap, it's a permanent deal with a 4-year contract. That shows commitment. It shows we're looking to build, not plug gaps for one season. Gilchrist might not walk into the starting 11. Who knows? If you do a playback free, he might be sub, but he might walk straight in at right back against Stoke this weekend. Who knows? We do not know until he's put the shirt on. Also, I think it's something to say about the character of the lad. You don't play 30 times in the Championship with a promotion chasing side unless you got a bit of grit about you. Defenders especially need to be mentally tough, willing to put their bodies on the line. And from what we've seen, Gilchrist does exactly that. He might not be flashy, but he's committed. He makes tackles, he clears danger, he does the ugly stuff well. And for that, Albion is perfect. We've got some flair players further up the pitch. What we need is reliability, consistency, and a bit of steel at the back. And he ticks those boxes for us. So to sum it up, 1.2 million, 4 years, a player with championship and playoff experience, and somebody who can slot straight into where we sold Furlong, and for less money. It's absolutely fantastic. It's tidy business for us. There's still some question marks about how quickly he can adapt to, the way we want to play. Can he nail down that position? Can he improve the attacking, output if he's pushed further forward as a right wing back? But those are good questions to have. They're development questions. They're not red flags. So for me, this is one of those signings that the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. It's not flashy, it's not headline grabbing, but it's smart, it's sustainable, and it's a kind of move that can give Albion depth and flexibility we need for that promotion push under dimension. As I said, let me know your comments in the section down below, and I look forward to reading each and every one of them. And I'm hoping to see you all in the chat tomorrow for the Stoke versus West Bromwich Albion game. Bye bye, guys.